Okay, so yeah, we're heading right way.
I take it you fell prey to the Forest Service's big recruiting effort when it comes to, how the hell you ended up out here.
I saw the job in the paper and figured, what the heck.
What the heck? I've got no ties and no life. Better go spend what's left of it in utter loneliness.
Something like that?
Yeah, thanks to last summer, the bump in Forest Service budget actually allowed for us to advertise for the job. Glad it worked.
Oh, you're talking about that giant fire that probably caused some damage. Turned an entire jamboree of brownies to dust.
Brownies don't have...
Jake. Oh, hey, Sean.
They
you
don't?
did a neat thing here
Everything
in the
I
game
know
that
is
I
a
like
lie
a lot,
now.
which is when you make a dialogue choice with Delilah about what this dangerous hill should be called. It shows up on your map, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, when we were putting the map system together, well, actually, the map weirdly was one of the latest things, one of the final things to come into the game as a fully fleshed out piece. But an upside of that is we built the map using a lot of tools we already had. For instance, the system that checks which things you haven't talked about, which things you haven't found in the game. Use the same variable list as our speech system. So when I was putting this together, I realized, oh, not only can I put a mark down on the map when Henry finds it or talks about it, but I can totally look at the same tools we use for dialogue and figure out what the player said and put it on the map. And the end result felt really natural. I actually wish we'd gone a little deeper on it in the game, but I'm really happy with what's in there right now. Also, please name this shitty boss is going to get me killed, because that's objectively the best name for the hill.
Is that your handwriting?
Yeah, you gotta you gotta cram that in there, but it's still readable.
I think we're almost there. According to this, there's... Yeah, here we go. Number 7. What? No! Oh, I wanted to hear that one. Don't know what it was about, but I wanted to hear it. Okay. Alright, let's just follow the path. We should check to see what trophies are related to us.
It is a hell of a nice camping spot down here by the lake.
I haven't been down there in years, but yeah, Jonesy Lake area is...
Hi, this is Ollie Moss, and I was the art director on Firewatch.
I'm Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Let's talk about this teen
let's
party
talk about
zone.
this. Let's talk about the teen zone. So the teen zone is one of the first areas that we used as a sort of art test to see how we would go about building the rest of the game.
We knew pretty early on that, like, on day 1, you will start from the tower.
Somebody's got a thing for trees.
Down to the lake, and somewhere
Seriously, there's
between,
trees in every picture.
Some teens and they're partying.
This one, there's only
so
3.
We call this the teen
But
zone.
there's still trees,
where all the teen stuff is.
Yeah, and it was important to us that the reveal that it was a group of teens was communicated through the level design. So the idea was that you just kind of like walk through some trees and burst out into this scene where a campfire was still burning.
And you had a pretty strong idea of what you wanted to look like.
Beer
I just wanted to put some big angular rocks in there, which is basically the like my modus operandi for the entire game.
Fucking fire! What the
But we
fuck?
wanted to have a big angular sort of rock, which became known as Pride Rock because it looked so much like the rock from the Lion
No,
King.
we did name that Pride Rock, didn't we? That rock does serve as a very strong landmark pretty early in the game, and it kind of does point the player in the right direction.
Exactly. Should we talk a little bit about our process for...
Did I really put out their fire?
So,
So
in the
stomp
beginning,
out.
when we just have
So, yeah.
like no concept art, we will just mock it out with just gray, literally just gray boxes and a gray terrain.
Just
We will take screenshots and give it to Ollie to be like, please
underwear.
pretty this up, Ollie.
Oh, well, first of all, I'll do a terrible garbage sketch and pitch it to the team, and if people like the gist of it, then we'll go away and do a bit more of a detailed drawing, and then you would go.
Yeah, we'll add in some more shapes. then we just keep going back and forth with paint overs from Ollie.
And then it's just a sort of tennis, really, just back and
Yeah.
forth between the two of us until everyone's happy with what we have.
Yeah.
My name is Patrick Ewing. I worked on tools and gameplay programming.
The teens, Patrick.
Let's open some old wounds here.
This is like going back to like an old battleground and being like on these
Exactly.
hallowed grounds.
Yeah, I
bad
died on
things
this hill.
happen. I died on this hill.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the most complex interactions in the game, if not the most, right?
Yeah.
And it was in the game from the very first vertical slice we did, and then I think we kind of added to it as we played through it and saw like, oh, we should be able to throw the boombox in the lake, obviously, right? Okay, the teens need to react to the boombox being in the lake. Oh, but then they should also react to you putting it down.
What you should do if you're making a video game is build relatively ironclad, predictable AI and systems that react to inputs. But instead, we built a series of relatively flimsy state machines that were like, if this, if this, if this, but not when, and also if.
Right.
And we're able to create the scene as designed. And Patrick was sort of the shepherd of this scene. So whenever anything would break, if you were to throw the boombox and the teens were not to respond, or you leave with the boombox and they would talk about something else, it was Patrick's job to ferret into the state machine and figure out what was going on.
Yeah, and I'm happy with how
Yeah,
it
I
turned
didn't
out.
throw
There
their
are so many
boombox
different
in the water
ways
this
that this scene can play out now, depending on what you choose to do.
So,
do you throw the
that's
fireworks
good,
at
right?
them? Do you talk to them and then start messing up their stuff and throwing it in? And it ends up being pretty like believable. They feel like real characters. It's just such a crazy spaghetti code in the back end that I'm always terrified when I see someone play through it, that there's some interaction that we didn't think about.
Right now, the player is interacting with the teens in a way that is completely not by the book. And
I mean, luckily we
beads
haven't.
of sweat or building on your brow.
Yeah, I think it's just a PTSD response at this point. We would see the bug reports if this was actually still breakable.
Yeah.
I wonder if somebody broke it. I haven't heard anything about it, but you know, it could happen, right?
So, I have a bit of a confession to make.
What is it?
Look, I was drunk last night when I welcomed you to the job.
Yeah, well, you're not the first boss to be guilty of that.
I know, I know I can get a little pushy, you know, putting you on the spot about why you're out here and stuff.
It's fine.
I'll keep that sort of a thing to a minimum.
Sure.
Anyway, let me know when you get back to your lookout.
Hi everyone, this is Ben Burbank. I'm a programmer at Campo Santo, predominantly doing graphics work and performance stuff. And I'm here with Jane.
Hi, I'm back.
And we're going to talk a little bit about, in general, how the world sort of streams in. This is a big open world game. There are, like, what, tens of thousands of trees somewhere in there?
Yeah, and we have how many chunks of the world that we stream in and out?
There are
I
100
remember.
plus.
Yeah, I think over 120.
One of the big challenges with that was we have to remove
Yeah,
parts of it
there's
when you're not
chunks.
looking at it, because video game consoles and computers don't like to draw things that aren't seen.
Especially not a lot of trees.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for that little graphics card to do to try and draw all those that big forest. So the canyon's one of the spots where we have like obvious occlusion where you can't see most of the world. So we unload like the tower hub. The tower that you see in the canyon is fake. It's a small fake version,
Yeah.
which is a common trick.
Yeah, so it's like a very low cost version of what it would actually be there.
One of the biggest challenges for Jane and people building the levels was figuring out line of sight. So how far can you see? Like if you have a point where you can see entirely across the map, we had to be very careful about what is actually loaded and what's actually drawing.
Yeah, so even though the canyon is pretty much a straight corridor, we had to put in some kinks in there. So you know, like right sort of in the middle, there's a little area where you have to go around a rock. This is so that we could make sure you won't be looking at the lake when we basically delete it out of the world.
Yeah. The game also, you know, it's sort of
Yes,
non-linear.
a
Like
bit
there's a
mad.
linear story going on, but there's
Do I have the
the
flashlight
ability for the player to
for?
just go backwards. So we also had to keep in mind like reverse line of sight
Yeah.
and things like that, which is a little different than a
I
traditional.
don't think I did.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little puzzle
If
game
I
almost to figure
did,
out when we stream in and
then I
out things.
probably
So,
didn't use it.
hopefully you don't notice
I don't
any of it,
remember a
because
whole
if you
lot
do,
about.
that's actually us not doing a great job.
You probably will notice it though sometimes. I'm sorry about that.
Manifest tells people not to go too far in there. It's pretty dangerous.
So,
So I say, fuck it. You're a grown man. You can go where you want.
Hi, I'm Jane. We're back.
And I'm Ollie.
Let's talk about this cave, Ollie.
Oh, let's not.
This cave really gave us all quite a bit of headache, actually. I was actually kind of having a mini panic attack because one of the hardest things to light in games actually is any area that's sort of half indoor and half outdoor, and this
Yeah, that's not funny
cave
for me.
is a pain in the butt to light.
It is. Well, having we thought you'd be an old pro at this, having worked on a game called The Cave. But yeah, it caused a lot of problems in terms
You'd
of
think
the
so,
logic
but
gating
no.
of the environment switches, because there was every time the time of day changes in the
I
game,
actually have played the cave.
it then resets that time of
Yeah,
day.
Didn't
because there's no
really
doorway,
finish it.
really.
So the way the cave is lit, it's actually just
Yeah, I don't
changes
think
the
I
time of
actually
day in the whole game.
completed
So
that.
like when you hit a trigger, if you could somehow magically
Didn't
transport
play
yourself
through
back
the,
inside the cave, you'd see like
whole
the sun spinning
single
through
run.
the sky, the sky changing,
So,
and it was really hard to make that process invisible to the player and make it
Yeah.
feel
it's getting
natural.
really dark
Not
out
to
here.
mention that when
Oh,
you're
hey, look,
inside the cave,
stars.
everything also has to look really dark. And we use a method called image-based lighting throughout the game. And that basically means that all the objects, like all the trees and rocks, just look out to the sky to see what their lighting should be. And so in the cave, we actually had to do sort of like a fake sky for anything inside that is just pure black. So the lighting inside would be appropriately dark.
But still navigatable to a player without the
Exactly,
flashlight.
and so, and also to be able to have a smooth transition when you're going from the, brightly lit outside to the really dark inside and coming back out again, and having all the appropriate logic for the time of day, like Ollie said, it was just a real pain in the butt.
Oh, we're almost, we're almost there. Yeah. Just, crap. I'm stuck in here. I'm stuck in here. Jesus Christ. Alright, let's get that over. Alright, now we're just climbing up the rocks to get back to the tower. And those stars are really nice.
damn it.
Oh, we're here. We're back. We're, what the hell?
What can I do for you?
Well, my typewriter is on the ground outside of my tower.
You right?
Yeah, look, the wind? No. How the hell
You should get inside.
Fuck me.
Are you kidding me? Magic. Okay, so broken glass. How?
Someone broke in.
They what?
They wrecked the place. Threw my typewriter out the window. Motherfucker!
Holy shit. I'll let the Forest Service know what happened.
The place is trashed.
Okay, I put in a call.
Okay, thanks.
Do you have any idea who would have done this?
I did probably piss off the girls at the lake. Ugh, fuck them.
Well, I'll have the Rangers keep an eye out for a couple of young women and question any they find. I can't believe someone would do this. I worry about bears and fires, and that's about it. And now I've got to worry about some, violent campers? Okay, in the morning I'm gonna call my friend Patty, who works the desk down in Cody. They keep a list of everyone who's officially been in and out of the trailhead since, I don't know, forever, and see if we can get a list of names. We won't get much, but at least if anything else happens, we can refer to it and see if anything comes up.
Thanks.
I need you to feel safe out here.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, you can protect yourself, huh?
I just don't worry about it.
Perfect. Keep that attitude up and
Nice
you'll have an
enjoy
excellent
it.
summer.
Or enjoy. D2 is gonna start soon. In time now. In time.